Hello, Baccarat James here once again, and we're coming into episode 2 of the 1-2 knockout system. Now, this is where we left off after the first episode, so we're going to continue. And I'm going to try to put these out Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, and I'm going to try and play live stream my play when I go to play on the Stadium Gaming. I'm going to try that, and I'm going to try to see if any casinos out there want to take me on and let me live stream. I'll play for quarters for $25, but I'm not playing for $100 units unless I have an investor, somebody wants to come in, because this can get dangerous, guys. It really can. And remember, this is not financial or gambling advice. I'm just a brand new YouTuber trying to make my way with this channel, giving this system out for free so that I can get sponsors. And then, hey, any casino wants to take me on, I'm game. I got a few bucks that I could go in with. But I'm not playing $100 units. That's, beyond my means. Not beyond my means, but why take the risk? Because I know it is a big gamble, and I've seen so many people lose over the years. So, nothing is carved in stone. That doesn't mean that this can't win, and I'm trying to build my bankroll to make it so I can bet a lot more. Anyway, the starting unit was 100. We're up to 103, our highest plateau. There's our tracking sheet, 1, 1, 2. But our next bet is 2 because we won the last bet. So we're going to get right into it. And I'm going to hop over to the shoot for virtual bet here. It should come up. And then I'm going to play it. And we're going to get going. So hopefully there are no ads. But if there are, we'll try and skip them. Okay, we're coming into shoot for virtual bet number 2. So now you have your trusty tracking sheet. The first bet is a bank. The first result, I should say. So we'll stop that. What do? On the first bet, we keep on continuing to bet the vertical run, not the horizontal on this one, okay? Normally we'll bet the horizontal, but we want the vertical to run as much as possible because this is what helps us get our money back. So let me mark that down where we at here, 112, yep, 103 units. And we will be betting 2 units. 2 units on the bank here. So let's see what happens. 2 units on the bank. That would be the bet. The next bet. I'm going to try and play the whole shoot through. 7-7 tie. Same bet on a tie. We don't trade it. And remember, not financial or gambling advice. So we go for the bank again and we win. So we win the 2 units. I'm going to pause this because I am trying to hold your hand here. So you circle the 2. Okay. And we add 2 to the juice. So that's 15, 16 on the juice so far, guys. 16 on the juice, right? So now if you look back, you have a -1 and a -1 on your tracking sheet. I don't know if I can show it. -1, -1. So we're betting 2 units again on the bank just to try to get that out. Try to get back to our highest plateau. Everything you see here is on the up and up. So yeah, we bet two more units. Your tracking should look like -1, -1, and this is a 2 unit bet. Uh-oh, no can do, killer whale. Okay, so your tracking sheet looks like -1, -1, -2. All right. Now we go back down on a loss, and we're doing this bet will be on the player because the first one was a run, so the second one will be a run. That's what we're going with. We keep the same patterns. So somebody just got a hold of me on my phone. Okay, so we bet 1 unit on the player here. 1 unit on the player. I'll bring the sheet back around. Make it easier to track. And it wins. So you exit out the 1 unit. Okay. Now we go up. We'll be betting 2 units now. When it goes to bank. Had it gone to another player, we would have bet the 2 units on the player. So here we're betting 2 units on the bank. See what happens. 2, 5. We win. Okay, so that's another win on the vertical run, right? So we exit out those 2 units and we mark 2 more units on the juice. 1, 2. So that's 16, 17, 18 units on the juice. Now, like I said, when we get to 20 units, we'll keep track. I'll keep that running, and then we'll divide by 20, and then we'll knock it off the total. Okay, so that puts us down to being down just the 1 unit, right? So if it goes to bank, then we'll bet the bank. We keep on going the highest vertical run, right? If not, it goes to player, then we'll bet the horizontal run. So, which would be player. So, okay, the first row run, I should say. See how this goes? No bet here. No bet here. And player wins, so we bet 1 unit only. We're trying to get even. 1 unit only on the player now. So, trying to get back to square one. Sorry for the delay in my face. So we lose there, right? We lose there. Loser. All right, so mark that down, 1 unit. Your tracking sheet should look like -1, -1. All right. So now it's chopped, and there is nothing established. There's no singleton gap or anything. So we carry on with the chop. We'll bet the 1 unit here. And I know it's a little convoluted, but it's much easier to explain in person. And like I said, I can't hold your hand, guys. You got to learn this if you want. If you don't, well, then fine. But I do appreciate a thumbs up for the effort. Okay, that wins. So we mark that off. Your tracking sheet, just mark it off. And you should see a -1 on your tracking sheet. No juice there. And we continue. Remember, not financial or gambling advice. We're only playing for fun. Tiddlywinks here. You can play for whatever you want. And there we go, to the bank. So we're back to square one. We're still up to 103 on our highest plateau. Your tracking sheet should be cleared now. And your juice has 19 units. So 19 units. So we bet the player here. And if it wins, there's no juice, of course. But then our highest plateau will go up 1 unit, right? So that's what we're trying to do. 1, nothing. Oh, we skunked out. We sneezed out. So our highest plateau, guys, is 104 now. 104. And we'll be betting the bank here, and we lose. Okay, so mark up the 1 unit on your tracking sheet, -1, which is what I'm doing. And I'll show you the tracking sheet, what it should look like at the end of the shoe. So if it goes to player, we'll bet the player and keep on trying to run. If it goes to bank, well, then we'll bet the bank because there is no singleton gap. That's what I'm trying to explain here. I don't know if I'm explaining it right. Okay, so let's see what happens. And yeah, I'm gliding into retirement a little bit early. I'm still employed, but if my employer wants to say something about this, well, then so be it. But this is my hobby going into employment. But by the time most of you see this, I'll probably be retired, hopefully retired. All right, so now we bet the player, okay? Because now that's established a higher run on the vertical run. Okay, that's the highest. So we go with it and see if it can run its ass off. A lot of times this will be what saves you guys. When these huge runs come, you'll be on it every time. But hey, nothing 6, nothing, we lose. Okay, snooze, we lose. And we mark that down. So we have 2 losses on our sheet here. -1, -1 on our tracking sheet. And here we bet the bank because there has been no singleton gap. Now, if it gaps to player, well then yeah, we'll go 2 times on the chop on row 1. Okay, but right now it hasn't been established with a singleton gap, so we'll bet the 1 unit on the bank. I hope you're following that. And if it gets past 3 banks, then we'll continue past 4, I should say, up to 4. That was a tie. We'd do the same bet on the bank, 1 unit on the bank. And your tracking sheet should look like 1 and 1 on the losses. So what is that? Another tie. Yeah, 2 ties in a row. So 1 more, kick of the cat, and we bet the bank and we lose. Okay, pause for the cause, and we mark that up. So your tracking sheet should look like, it looks like a dog's breakfast. Mine does. -1, -1, -1. So now that we're at -3 units, we can start to bet it up a little bit when we win. All right. So that gap has been established. We bet the bank here. 1 unit on the bank, guys. 1 unit on the bank. If it wins, don't forget that juice. Because we're only playing for fun. There's no way to mark up the juice, right? 1, 4, 2, 3, 2, 6. Player wins. Whatever. Okay. So that's another one. -4 there on your fucked up scale. I got to pause this guy. No, I don't have to pause this guy. God, these stupid. Make sure you If you live in Nevada, geez, I guess
and nobody's talking about
bullshit. I made the mistake of signing up for these crappy. I'll try and delete that if I get the time, but screw these stupid ads. They're all the same. All the same. I made the mistake of signing up for one of these 10 best insurance companies. All of a sudden, I get 40 phone calls, emails, texts, everything. So the best thing to do is just don't do that. Okay, so now what would you bet here? Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to bet is the player. It doesn't matter whether I've seen the cards because everything is the same. All my bets are the same. I don't change them. You can do that if you want, but then this is just a guessing game anyway. No bet is relevant from the last bet. I hope you guys get that. Doesn't matter what the pattern is. That doesn't mean that it will repeat. But if you use the same thing, you take the guessing out of the game, and that's what I'm trying to do. So we would bet 1 unit on the player here. And we're down what? Holy crap. 4. So we bet 1 on the player here. Player shows nothing. Bank 3, 5. We win. All right. That's good. That's good. So we X out. Actually, I put a circle around the one of the negative ones on the tracking sheet to tell me to bet 2. Okay, and that tells me that that one was a win. That's just how I do it, but it's hard to show on the computer and it takes a lot of time. So now we're betting 2 units. So we're down 3 units on our tracking sheet. Now we can go up on a win. All right, so we bet 2 units on the bank is the natural bet, and we go from there. 2 units on the bank, and we lose. Okay, so your tracking sheet should look like -1, -1, -1, -2. So when it comes back to bank, we'll bet the chop, but it'll only be 1 unit. All right, let's go. Just let it run. If it runs past 3 players, then we'll hop on that run and try and get our money back that way. But it didn't. It chopped to break the bank, so we'll bet 1 unit on the player here, 1 unit on the player. And if it goes to bank, well, then that's 2 runs in a row. So it wins. The player wins. That's just the 1 unit, right? So your tracking sheet should look like -1, -1, -2, -1, -2, with the next bet being a 2 unit bet. Stay with the chop, 2 units on the bank, and if it wins, don't forget your juice. But that automatically will be built in depending on the table you play at, right? So we're betting 2 units, and it sucks. Don't let this 3 in a row, 4 in a row pattern ruin you. Okay, don't let that, because many times it'll win on the 4th one or the 5th one, and it really doesn't matter. I've seen it go up to 8 times like this. Chop, run, chop, run, chop, run. But you know what? Just stick to it. If it's not your day, it's not your day. It doesn't happen that often. So that was a what? A 2 unit bet, right? That was a 2 unit bet. So your tracking sheet should look like -1, -1, -2, -2. So the next bet will be a -1. Okay. When it will be a 1 unit bet, I should say. When it either goes to 4 players or chops the bank, then we'll be betting the player that way. But okay, it did chop right away. So 1 unit bet on the player. Now if it goes to bank, fine, right? But we are down 4 on our net 10. Net 10, we get the heck out of Dodge. Okay, so that wins. So that pattern, you could say, oh, I've lost 3 in a row or whatever, 4 in a row, so I'm gonna stop. I don't do that anymore. I just keep on going. And if I lose my net 10, I lose my net 10. So we'll mark off one of those ones, and our next bet is 2 units on the bank. Hopefully we can get a little side run going here. A row 1 chop-a-rooney. Ooh, what do we got? No, again, it screwed us again. We win the 1, lose the 2. Win the 1, lose the 2. Here we go again. So it's -1, -2, -2, -2. Yeah, it's not looking good right now, but hopefully it'll look better. And I've been down hundreds of units before and got them all back, but it just depends on how dangerous you want to get. But with the new money management, it is a lot better. I don't bet over 5 units, and you'll see that when I start to really win, lose, lose, win, win, that type of thing. You'll see it. So let's continue on, and you can cheat if you want to see if how you would have made out, but still, it's cheating, guys. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. All right, one more unit on the player. One more unit on the player. Natural 9, yes. Win the 2, lose the 1. Win the 2, lose the 1. Or win the 1, lose the 2. So your tracking sheet looks like -2, -2, -2. And we're betting 2 units here. We're betting another 2 units on that chop. Eventually, one of 2 things will happen. Either it'll stop with this 1 2 1 2 1 2, or it'll get a double, or it'll keep on chopping, actually. So 3 things can happen. So we lose again. Wow, look at this pattern. And I know what you're saying, James, I would have been out in the 3rd loss, and then I would have saved 3 units. I've done that so many times, and what happens is you're going to start to win. Eventually, these patterns will kick in. Okay, so it's -2, -2, -2. Now, once again, when it goes to bank or 3 players, will start with 1 unit. We'll go down no matter what on that loss, right? Before I was staying the same, and the numbers started to climb way up there. So 1 unit here, 1 unit here. And like I said, I've seen it go as many as 8 double chops like this. And it's just crazy when it does. You can never tell. Nobody can tell me what the next bet is going to be with 100% certainty, because they're full of shit. Okay, so we win that one. So this is what you do here. Okay, guys, this is what you do here. You have -2, -2, -2, right? You take that first -2, we won the 1 unit, change it to a 1, -1. So what you'll have on your tracking sheet is -1, -2, -2, -2. The next bet will be a 2 unit bet, and we'll go from there. Hopefully it'll chop again. 2 unit bet. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll see how many times it can do this. I can't have no recollection. I'm like the Baccarat shoe. I have no memory of what had won or what had lost. So that wins the 2 units. Yay! Guess what? There's juice. So that's 20, 21. Okay, 21 on the juice. So now, since we won, and your tracking sheet should say -1, -2, -2. We're betting 3 units. The highest we go is 5, if we have to go that high. A lot of times you'll never have to go that high. Then you'll see how I try to knock down the negative bets. All right, we're still trying to get ahead 1 unit when we lose, or when we win, we go up, trying to get ahead 1 unit. But we'll see. So now it's a 3 unit bet on the player, no juice. 3 units on the player. And like I said, I'm going to try and come out with these 3 times a week. 1, 4, 9 wins it. Okay, so the 3 units. So now what you do is you knock down. It's 1 2 2, right? You knock down the 2 and you knock down the 1, so you're left with a 2 unit bet. We're only trying to get back to even here, guys. Okay, so your tracking sheet should say -2, right? And we're betting 2 units. And if it wins on the bank, then it's 2 units worth of juice, right? All right, 2 units on the bank, guys. All you need is a little run like that, and boom, you get it all back. But I don't know what's going to happen here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We sniped. We got sniped. No, we didn't. I thought we sniped it out, but no, they pulled the rabbit out of their ass. So it's -2, -2 on your tracking sheet, right? But once again, we lost, so we go down. So the next unit will be 1 unit, a 1 unit bet. And hopefully, I know I've done 40 of these shoes before. I said, you know what, this is working just fine. I went out and played. I've been winning, winning, winning. Get hit a little bit, winning, winning, winning. Lose that 10 net units, get the heck out. Tomorrow's another day. All right, so I digress. Here we go. Tomorrow's another day. We wanted to go past 4 players, or up to 4 players, because then we can continue with that run. No bet here. 1 more on the player, and we'll jump on that run bandwagon. 7, 9, we lose. Okay, so it didn't run, no bet. So here we bet 1 unit only on the chop. 1 unit only on the chop, which is a player, and it wins. So let's mark that sucker down. Is that -2, -2? It should read now -1, -2. All right. I'm going to Do a little pause here. And we're back. Now, if you get a little tired, just take a break. Okay? I just took a couple minute break and came back. So the shoes will be here no matter what, right? They'll be here. So, and you can jump in and you can see exactly where your patterns are and what to bet. Middle of the shoe, end of shoe, beginning of the shoe. It doesn't matter where you jump in. So we're betting 2 units here on the bank, right? And your tracking sheet should say -1, -2. Bet in the bank, and it loses in great fashion. So we'll mark that down. Lose the 2 unit bet again. -1, -2, -2. Yeah. So that's the way it goes sometimes. So we wait, just wait for it to come back or to run to 4 players. If it runs to 4 players, then we get back in. 6, 9, lose. So we bet 1 unit on the chop, 1 unit on the player, right? Yes, we're betting. Your tracking sheet says 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, and that loses. So your tracking sheet says 1, 1, 2, 2. Okay? Or at 1, 2, 2, 1. All right, so here we bet 1 unit on the run because it was a double. So we're going on the run now. Row 1 only. On the run, we bet the player and we lose. So your tracking sheet says -1, -2, -2, -1, -1. Okay, here is an important concept, okay? Because of the singleton gap in row 40, below that in column 37, there was a run of those 3 players. Then it went to bank. Then there was 2 runs in column 41 and column 43. So that established the run for at least 2 times because there was a gap in row column 40, right? So I hope you're getting that. So we got to give it one more try. So we'll be betting 1 unit here on the bank. So let's see what happens. 1 unit on the bank, guys. 6-6 tie, same bet. 1 unit on the bank. See what happens. Nope. Okay. That was a double. Okay. So we lose there. So your tracking sheet should look like -1, -2, -2, -1, 1, 1. So what's that? 6, net 6 we're down. Okay. Now if I do get down the net 10, I'll come back to the same shoe because we're pretending here. Okay. It's been a net 10. We come back another day and I want to see how it goes through the whole shoe anyway. We'll pretend like we're coming back on the other day. That's if we get to, or when we get to net 10. I know it does because the bottom falls out a lot in Baccarat, and you have to be prepared to take these lumps because if you're not, if you think that this is perfect, dream on. It's far from perfect, but it's far from the crappy systems that you see online that they want to charge you. And, you know, you don't need to. You don't need to. It's a 50-50 game, and I'm teaching you quite a bit actually for free. But like I say, any casino wants to take me on, let me know. I'm going to ask a couple. Maybe I'll go down to the El Cortez or something. Say, hey, you guys want me to live stream, get people in here, and then we can play for real. And then want to join up? Boom. Try to make some real money. Try to make some real money. Okay, there's another -1. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on our net 10 scale. We got 7 losses. And that's the way it goes sometimes. It should read -1, -2, -2, -1, 1, 1, 1. Okay? So yeah. Sometimes it's very easy to lose 6 out of 7. 10 in a row. You know, that type of thing. Very easy, this game. A dangerous, dangerous game. So, here we go. And we lose there. Oh, no, we don't lose. So non-bet. If it goes to player, we start betting the player. 7 in stands. Yep. So we bet 1 unit on the player here. 1 unit on the player. And if it wins, we'll go to 2 units on the player. 7, 2. Yep, it wins. So you mark off one of those ones, and we're betting 2 units on the player now. 2 units on the player. 1, 3. Oh, 38 special. So knock off 2 units off that player. Right? So now we're betting 3 now. 3 units on the player. Not looking good. Okay, we'll pause that. Okay, mark it up. And I'll tell you what your sheet should look like. That would have been nice. -2, -1. -1, -1, -1, -3. So our next bet will be 2 units, and it will be on the bank. Why? Because there is no singleton gap. There was a double gap, so we bet the same. So we bet 2 units on the bank here. See how we do. Remember, there's juice if it wins. 2 units on the bank. Nope, not going to do it, is it? So we got down to it. Okay, that actually sucks. So what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 net. 7 net. It's running away from us. So because that singleton gap on what column? Got to see here. 48. We'll bet. What did I say we bet? That was 2 units. So now we're down to 1 unit on the bank. Just 1 unit on the bank, guys. That was unfortunate. We're getting there. 1 unit on the bank. Remember, we're net 7. Nope. Now we're net 8. 2 more. We're out the door. But we'll come back to exactly where we were, pretending like, hey, it's a long-running shoe. I want to prove to certain people like the Wizard of Oz, that this is no fluke. I understand Baccarat can be a long-running shoe, but when you sit out, something amazing happens. You generally don't keep on losing day after day. I've had 3 losing days in a row, net 10 every time, got it all back day 4. So I could have gotten slaughtered, yeah. Okay. So your tracking sheet, -2, -1, -1, -1, -1, -3, -2, -1. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at 8 net. 8 net losses. And it's been a shitty day, right? Right? I keep on plugging. See, if I had quit if I had quit when I was doing this, right, testing this, then I would have never found out that it really has a good chance of working. You got to play through. You got to give it some time, because if you don't, then you'll be hopping all over the place. So let's see what happens now when it goes back to bank. We're back down to 1 unit. We're going to get our rims. We're going to get our wins, and sometimes we'll take our lumps. So 1 unit bet on the player. 1 unit on the player. 5. Ooh, we lose there. Okay, so that's a double run. That's a double run. 2 runs in a row, column-wise. So -1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 now. We only give it 1 more, guys. We only give it 1 more, and then we're done for the day. Quick for the day. Come back. You could jump in anywhere, right? We'll jump back into the shoot. That's if, and only if, I lose 10 in a row. 10, net 10. And so far we're at net 9. So I'll show you this tracking sheet after. There's a player. Last chance for Mary Jane. 1 more. 1 more what? I forget the lyrics. And Mary Jane loses. So that's 10, guys. That's our net 10. Okay, normally I would be out of that shoe. Okay, that's a 1 unit loss. I'm going to go over and mark it all down on our tracking sheet. Okay, so we'll go over there. And we're going to come back at this exact same spot, acting like we're just a 1-horse pony. And this is all we have. But I want to prove that even though we quit at 10, we might be able to get it back. And I want to prove that you know, it really doesn't matter where you come in. It really doesn't. And you don't know when those wins or losses are going to come. So let's take a look at the tracking sheet. And man, does it ever look ugly. It looks fugly. It looks fugly. Our juice is at 21. Okay. For, oops. The juice is at 21. Whoops, it's not kicking in. There. Delayed reaction, 1. The heck with it. We know it's 20 and 1. Rather than do that all day, 21. Then we'll just add that on. And like I say, when we get enough, I'll just take it off the highest plateau. Now, here's what our tracking sheet looks like. Ugh, it's not ugly, it's fugly. We lost the 10, right? Okay, -2. We could have been a contender. -2. Okay. let's see, -1, -1, 2, -3, -4. Okay, that's 5 losses. Then it goes 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. -3, -2, -1, -1. That's what your tracking sheet should look at, like, guys and gals. So yeah, it's a wicked pisser. Our highest plateau is 103, and we're down all those units there. So I don't really care. It doesn't matter as long as we don't lose our 100 units. You got to put something into the game, guys. So I would like to start with 400 units at my minimum. So for 25 bucks, 400 units is 10 grand. So that's what I'm willing to do with this. And I do it all the time. But right now I'm winning. So the juice is 21, right? 21 units. So we would actually take 1 unit off and be left with one unit, right? So our highest plateau we could bring down to 102 if we want, then knock off 20 of the juice. You see what I'm getting at? Alrighty then, that about does it. And I'll see you in the next one. Like I say, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday now. I'm going to try and put these out. So thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Tell your friends. We're going to get there. You just continue watching, and you're going to see that things tend to work themselves out. Alrighty then. Baccarat James over and out. Thank you. Have a great day. Take care now.